Hey friend, it's Ange here. And today on the podcast, I want to talk with you about something that's been on my heart, something that I wasn't sure if I really wanted to talk about because I didn't want to really bring you down. But the way that I think about it is this is actually going to bring you up in your life because I'm going to teach you something that I wish somebody would have taught me sooner. Let me backtrack and tell you how this all came to be. So, my husband has been on my case a bit lately because he was like, why do you keep watching that? That makes you feel so awful. Why are you even paying attention to it? You know what it is? It's the Clancy trials that I've been watching. I know many of us have been consumed in that, and I think I know why, if it's why I've been consumed. So, what happened with the Clancy trials, if you're not familiar, this is dark. So, I'm just going to say it if you're not familiar. But this mother ended up murdering her three children, and they were little. And this was it's some time has passed. Just now we're dealing with the trials, so it's not like a very recent thing. It just got to the trial time. Well, anyways, she murdered these three children, and there's all this history of before she had these kids, or her last one, the third one. She was like what most would think as a very normal, healthy mama, loving on her kids and all that. And then something happened, and then it led to this. So a lot of postpartum depression, anxiety, mental illness stuff that was going on, and then it led to this. And it's so sad. And it led to her suicide attempt, her being paralyzed now from the waist down, and now her trial that is up for public view. So everyone in the world can comment and share their 2 cents about what's going on. It's out there now, and they're trying to figure out, are they going to try her in a way where she's criminally insane? She's deemed criminally insane from, what she did. Like she's not necessarily, I'm not going to use the words responsible, but it's because of her insanity that happened. So then they're going to put her more into a hospital setting and get her the medical help that she needs. And then she'll stay in that setting for as long as it takes till they deem her like, able to move into society if that ever happens, right? So that's one option. The second option is she goes to prison for life. So people have all these comments about how it should be. Was she in a right state of mind, or was she, like all of that stuff? Or is this solely due to where she got mentally, right? So everyone's throwing in their 2 cents behind it. But then you have the conspiracy theorists, right? All of them showing up saying, oh, I think the husband was cheating. I think he did it. I think the husband's new wife did it. Like there's all this stuff that's happening out there, all these comments. And if you look at the facts, the professionals are deciding this, but you also have people that have somehow gotten like FBI degrees in the meantime online or something. I don't know what happened. But anyways, my point of this story is that it's dark, I feel like, even hearing about it. So this is where my husband's like, what are you doing, Ange? Why are you even paying attention to this? And I think what drew me in was the fact that I'm a mama, and I think about how I feel towards my babies, how much I love them, how I would never want to hurt them, right? And I also know how hard it is with the postpartum stuff that shows up, the loss of your identity, the carrying the load of trying to do all the things, right? And then somebody shifting into getting medication for that, and then the effects of all these medications, and then all of that stuff. Like I don't know that side of it. I've never been on that side of it, but I have been on the side of feeling overwhelmed. In fact, when they read off her diary that she wrote, I was like, I felt that way many times. Like I was drowning. Like I was like, it was like all about everybody else. And I was just like feeling like I wasn't caring for myself at all. And I feel like I just can't even breathe. Like I need a break. I felt that way before. I know many other women have felt that way when it comes to being a mom. And then it led to this, for her case, led to an awful thing that the whole public has the ability to comment on. So after seeing that, I think that's why I was drawn in. So if you're wondering why, I was like, what happened here? So it drew me in. Then I'm reading the comments. This is where I'm going to teach her. So I'm reading those comments and I'm seeing that the majority of the things people have to say are so negative, so hateful, so awful, and not really considering the people, the humans. This is not a book. These are humans, real humans that lost people they love. And then you're making all these awful comments. And what does that do for anyone? Like, that's what I'm wondering. Like, what? Like, and I've seen comments from people that I know are amazing humans. I know them. I know their heart. I don't think they're being intentional with the way they're showing up here. So this made me think about something. It made me think about how in our life we will experience hardship. Like, this is how this life works. If you're a human, you're here, you're going to experience hardship. It's going to be difficult at times in your life. I know some people want to act like all abundance, always good if you think good. Okay, let's be real right now. You're human in this life. There is hardship. You are going to lose people that you love. If you haven't already, you will at some point. There will be hardship. So, with that being said, I think about it as like there will be a fire. The fires are going to keep showing up in different situations. And this is what I want to know. Who are you when the fire is showing up? When there is destruction there happening, when there is hard feelings, when crap hits the fan, like who are you? The fire is going crazy. Are you the one that shows up and you pour gasoline on the fire and you make it worse? You generate more of that? Are you the person that brings the water? Are you the light in the darkness is another way to say it. Because I think a lot of us are showing up with a gasoline in our hand. And it doesn't always look like just commenting on some Facebook thread thing. It doesn't always look like that. It can look like you in your household where you're frustrated at your husband, like I can be at times with mine, frustrated at him. And I find myself wanting to say something, well, like, it's your fault, and throwing that in there. That's an example of bringing the gasoline out to that fire. And we do this a lot when we are stressed. Like when our car broke down recently and my husband wanted us to drive our older car that we haven't drove in a while just to get it out there. So we drove it and I was just about to be like, it was hot because AC wasn't even working. That's a whole nother side story. We drove it. It was not the most fun ride. We drive that. And then when we go into one place, we come out and we try to start it. It's not starting. And I found in myself thinking, oh, my babies, I got to get back to pick up my babies in daycare. How is this going to happen? Like my feelings went immediately into that worry, right? Now I'm frazzled. And then I said to my husband, I found myself, I didn't say it, I called myself. I said to, didn't say it again. I thought about it, but I wanted to say, well, like it was your choice to drive this. Kind of like it was your fault. He was already stressed out about it too. Does that make the situation better? But how often do we do that? Even in our relationships, we do that. One's already stressed, and you are supposed to be the person, like you're a team. You're supposed to be the person that brings light, that brings love, it brings light in the darkness, that brings love to that hard situation, that brings the water to the fire. I want you to think about that, being that person, because like I told you that example, I don't always show up that way. I have those thoughts in my mind, and I had that, but you know what? I caught myself. I noticed it, and I was like, I'm not gonna say that because that's like bringing in gasoline to the fire. It doesn't make it better. It's already happening. It's a done deal. It's happening. But is how you're showing up making it better? I want you to think about this as in other areas of your life too, even when it comes to your work that you are doing. I know you be dealing with difficult people every day. I know, because we're humans, right? People are showing up. You get that email, that snarky comment, that whatever it is. You're seeing that. It's bringing your energy down. I get that. It's normal to feel that way, to be frustrated by whatever thing. And then when you feel those feelings, what do you do with them? Is that the gasoline that you're carrying in with the email response you send back or the text, the comment that you make, or the way you show up and you tell someone else about how annoyed you are with that one person? That's spreading the fire more. Because your power in your words, don't forget that. There's energy behind your words that you are bringing into a space. Is it making the space better? When your friend is hearing you complain about the thing, is that like life-giving to them? No, it's not. My son and I do this to each other and we laugh with our hair. It's not. It's not making it better. It's generating more of that energy, but we're not aware because we don't want to be that kind of person. We want to be the person that is the light in the darkness, the person that brings the water when there is a fire, that's helping people out. I know that. I know you want to be that person. And we know what that requires. It requires us to notice our feelings, notice them. That makes sense. I feel that way. And then decide what you're going to do with that. Like we going back to the Clancy trials that I've been watching. Oh, I felt some type of way, as people would say. I've been feeling that. I've been feeling like I want to say this back. I've been feeling like I want to hate on the ones that be hating. But I'm not going to do that because I'm like, does that make the situation better? And I know this person is going to fight back with me, and I don't got time for that. But it's not a good use of my energy. I'd rather pour my energy into my babies and the things that I love. This is another thing that I want you to think about is you being really intentional with the energy you have. It's one of your greatest resources you have. Not everything deserves your energy and your attention. That snide comment, that mean person, whatever it is, they don't always deserve your energy and attention. You don't need to give it to them. You need to be like, here's my power, ruin my day, please. You said that mean thing to me. You sent that email, you sent me that text. I'm going to let that ruin the rest of my day. Like you would never choose that. But some of us are unconsciously allowing that to happen. So what's the solution here? So what do you do about that? I'm not saying that you don't feel as a human. I'm saying that you be more intentional about what you do with those feelings. And you know what really serves me is this question. What do you want to make this mean? What do you want to make this mean? You get a message from someone that's crappy, doesn't make you feel good. What do you want to make that mean? Are you triggered by it because you feel like maybe they're not saying you're good at whatever it is that you're doing? Are you going to make that mean that you suck? Because that would be why you're triggered by it. And that's why those feelings are generated. Are you going to make it mean that, this person must be going through a lot? Probably not the best way to say that, but I get to decide what I receive in that. Another thing that comes up for me is I love thinking this way. I treat people with love and kindness, not because of who they are, but because of who I am. So it's not based on how you show up. It's based on me because of the kind of person that I am. I think this is identity stuff that we need to work on too. Are you the kind of person that when you see the fire happening and it's being destructive, are you the kind of person that brings the gasoline? Are you the kind of person that brings the water? When it's dark in a situation, that negative energy is generating in that space. Are you the kind of person that is the light? Who are you in those moments? That'll help you. And how do you handle difficulty in your life and conflict and things that set you back? What would make you proud of how you showed up in that? That's another one of my favorite energy shifting questions. What do you want to make this mean? What is this teaching you? What would make you proud of how you showed up in this? Those are just some good questions to have in your back pocket when you find yourself and your energy shifting down because of something happening outside of you. So my hope is that this helped you think through your own energy in your life. And it also makes you think twice before you say the thing that you're going to say next when you are frazzled and frustrated, because it never ends with just you. Never. That energy never ends with just you. I think about my babies that are in the car when sometimes I get frustrated with my husband. And I think about them and how they're feeling that energy and they're hearing the things that I'm saying. So I want to be more intentional about that because let's be real, a lot of us have some like issues from our childhood because of the way our parents interacted with each other in front of us. How we felt in those moments, what we heard. Why? Not because they sucked and they were bad parents. I'm not going to say that. Some people would be like, no, mine actually were though, right? But I'm not here to say that. What I am here to say is they were not intentional with their energy because maybe nobody woke them up. Nobody told them how much of an impact that may have on someone. Not in just that moment, but in years down the road. Even in your work right now, your interaction that you have with someone has the power to shift the entire rest of their day, maybe even their life. You may think about people in your life, they've done that for you. I can remember things someone has said to me, one statement that completely changed my life. You have that power every day. You have it based on when you interact with somebody. How are you using it? Are you using that power very intentionally? Are you not? Something to think about. All right. I hope you have an amazing day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.